disturb you. I'll see you soon.
I want to play a game.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Hey, what is up, guys? This is Josh from Nightmare on Woodsboro Lake. Today I'm coming at you with another spoiler-free movie review. The film that I have chosen today is a little more on the lighter side when it comes to horror. And it kind of appeals to my generation who grew up reading certain books. And today's that movie that we're going to be talking about is the 2019 film Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. In the Dark. Sorry, that sounded like I said in the dark. Yes, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Now, this movie is based in like the 60s, the late 60s. And you have this young girl and her friends that are kind of like the social outcasts. And, they meet this young boy who's drifting through town. He's kind of on his own. I believe he's Indian, or I believe that's his nationality. But it's a time, there's still a lot of people that are weary of people that are not, white America, and you can definitely tell that in this film. But not trying to give away too much. Like I said, it's about, this group of friends. They end up finding this book in this haunted house. And these stories begin writing themselves and being played out in these kids' lives. And it's stories that you and I have all read in the books. So it was cool seeing them brought to life. Because it was left, there was some pictures in the books, but it was always, a lot of it was left up to the imagination. And man, that imagination for me was always grotesque reading these stories. So it was cool to see them come to life. And this was done by Guillermo del Toro, which I just finally started watching the show on Netflix, Cabinet of Curiosities. And so far I'm really digging it. And he does some really good work. So, I really, jumping into my opening thoughts, I was excited. For me, reading the books growing up, like I said, it was always a great time, always spooky. I was always like that kid who loved reading spooky books, watching spooky shows and movies. I was all about that. I'm still all about it, as you can tell. It kind of just sticks with you. I think I turned out okay. For the most part. But yeah, I was excited going into it because I'm like, wow, we finally get a live adaptation of, and they didn't just throw a bunch of anthology. Don't get me wrong, I love anthology films and I love anthology series, which that pretty much is what Cabinet of Curiosities is as well. But I was excited to see it play out. It's almost kind of like, if you think about it, like 2016 or 2015 or 2016, when they brought out Goosebumps. They kind of played all the characters out into it, but it wasn't like story after story. These characters just came to life in this small town. But yeah, these stories are beginning to write themselves and are plaguing these children's lives in 60s America. But yeah, if like I said, I'm not trying to spoil it. I feel like everybody should at least give this one watch, one go round, at least. I enjoy watching this on occasion. It's not like a go-to, but it's definitely a casual, fun watch every so often. Especially on a weekend, you're just hanging out. If I was to give this a ranking, for what it is, for nostalgia purposes, for fun, the fun uniqueness of it all, and just for it being, I think it's only PG-13, which that doesn't say anything about any movie. I've seen plenty of movies that were really, really good that were PG-13. You don't got to go heavy on the gore to be scary. it's scary enough, just like these premises of these movies and like these moments that you find yourself like locked in and then something just hits you, like whether that is a jump scare, which don't get me as often, or just the unsettling feeling of things and like the creepy nature. So it's a really good movie, hands down, no matter what rating it was. I'm not one of those pure like rated R bust, like, you know. I could care less. It could be PG-13. It could be R. I don't care. But yeah, I highly recommend it. And, you know, giving it a ranking based on just like all those factors that I mentioned. Honestly, I'm gonna give this a We've Got a Bleeder. This is definitely high up there, but you know, it's not 100. It's not like, you know, the creme de la crop. But it's definitely high enough up there that I really enjoy it, and I enjoy busting it out every so often to watch. And it's just a fun time, and you can watch this with depending on the age, your kids. Got to work them up to it for sure. It's not like balls to the wall horror, but it's definitely like might give them nightmares. So you pick your battles. I'm not going to tell you how to parent. But yeah, I 100% give this a We've Got a Bleeder. I just dropped the DVD. Yeah, my final thoughts, go check it out. I own it obviously on DVD. I don't know, it used to be on, I think it was on Netflix at one point. You might find it on Amazon, or go rent it, or on one of the streaming services. So I think it's worth the watch. Definitely. And for those of you in my age group or around that same time frame, you'll enjoy it for the nostalgic factor and for the seeing these stories that we've all grown to like love and be afraid of come to life. So yeah, that's all I really got to say. Thank you guys so much for tuning in as always. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Leave me a comment below if you've seen this movie. If you haven't yet, what are your thoughts? Are you going to give it a watch? You ever read those books growing up? I'd love to just hear whatever you have to say. But yeah, thank you guys so much. And as always, keep killing it out there, my friends, and just remember, don't get caught.